Hey buddies, it's Pugly here, coming at you another Borderlands 3 video. Today I'm going to be showing you the items for this week's giveaway. Today we're going to be doing an amazing build that I did a very long time ago that is all about dealing as much damage as you can with Iron Bear's Fist. You can deal up to 500 million damage very easily with the fist if you use the right setup. But before I show the items, I just want to say that the items are available for PC and Xbox players. If you want any of these items, please join my Discord on the top right. There'll be a link in the comments and description as well. The only requirement that you need to do to get any of these items will be that you must be subscribed to the channel. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch in the top right. You have no idea how much helps me out, and let's get into it.
Legendary? Whoa! No way, dude!
So first things first, the first item is going to be a Z Eruption. Now, the most important part on the Z Eruption is while Iron Bear is active, Iron Bear Fist damage is increased by 300%. Now, this will allow us our Bear Fist to deal as much damage as possible. And the main purpose of the Z Eruption, if you guys don't already know, is that if you're overheated on the weapon, you'll start sending out orbs towards the enemy, but there's no enemies in front of us for us to showcase orbs, so I'll go into the field and show why that's so powerful. Because every single time you also enter Iron Bear, the orbs will also spawn, which just allows you to deal more damage to bosses and any enemy around. The next item is going to be a Plus Ultra, which allows you to get a huge HP bonus, not only for yourself as a character, but also for Iron Bear. So this allows Iron Bear to stay up for a longer period of time because your HP pool is just increased by so much by this. It also has, while exiting Iron Bear, kills increase Iron Bear's cooldown by 300%. So that means that after Iron Bear is down, you can also kill some enemies. This build does capitalize on foot Moze, like most of my Moze builds, so you can kill people by just shooting as well, so you can get your Iron Bear really quickly back. Next, we have the It's Pissed, which is another debuff tool we can use whenever Iron Bear is hit while he's active. We have a chance to send out the It's Pissed grenade towards the enemy in front of us, which allows us to put a debuff and deal some extra damage, which is always nice to see. Next, we have a Snowdrift Deathless. Now, the Snowdrift Deathless allows us to primarily get area of effect damage, which allows us to deal more damage with our Iron Bear Fist with a certain augment called Wild Swing, which spawns a Nova when you hit an enemy, so this allows you to deal more damage. And the Shock and Incendiary damage allows your dots to deal some damage as well, so Wild Swing can occasionally apply a dot, which will then get the bonuses of those as well. The Snowdrift really is to allow you to run really fast, and the Deathless allows you to deal as much damage as possible with Desperate Measure on Moze whenever you are on foot. Next is the Flare, which allows our Iron Bear to deal even more damage. It has 3 points into Stainless Steel Bear and 2 points into Means of Destruction. The max Stainless Steel Bear a Flare can come with is 3, so unfortunately we have to be stuck with 3, but it does have splash damage and action skill damage to allow us to deal more damage with Wild Swing, which is always very nice to see. So just generally making Iron Bear really good. Now I'm going to go into the field and go to the Malawan takedown just to show how powerful this build. But if you want the skill tree for this build, make sure to click the top right, because up there will showcase a full deep dive and breakdown on this build and explain why I chose certain skill point and just generally how to do the build better than I could explain it just in a few moments here. So the real reason why I love this build, not only because it's a gimmick, but because you can primarily just one-shot every single enemy that you see. You could use a good mix of close distance, which I like to use for certain areas that have flying enemies, but primarily most of your damage is going to be coming from Wild Swings. Now, Wild Swings can occasionally summon a Nova, which will then you'll see a bunch of enemies around will just die because the Nova has a pretty nice distance. Pretty much the tech that you want to use with the Z Eruption is that every single time you exit Iron Bear, you want to essentially just hop into the back, which will then spawn the Z Eruption orbs after you exit, as well allowing you to get pretty much invulnerability while you're in the back of Iron Bear. While you're inside Iron Bear, you have a decent amount of opportunities to essentially just get lots of enemies killed, which will allow you to see Iron Bear's cooldown come back pretty quickly. Most of the time with this setup, I'm also using an Unforgiven to allow you to deal extra damage while in the back of Iron Bear, but we don't quite have that for the giveaway because there's a limited slot of items, so we don't quite have that. But as you'll see in a few moments, any enemy that we come across, even with larger HP bars, will just instantly die pretty quickly, like right there where you're able to clear the Valkyrie shots pretty quickly. And now I can properly show the Novas that spawn from the Wild Swing. So you saw those two enemies that was next to each other. Because of the fact that we hit them with Wild Swing, the Nova spawned and then killed enemies around it, which was awesome. So this guy's going to drop down. We're going to immediately get him downed as well. And remember to try to keep the fuel topped off as high as possible. possible, so it's okay to leave Iron Bear early and just let him do his own thing while you're in the back seat, just giving him occasional support by just shooting some random enemies. Here's another example. This guy's mostly full HP. I'm just going to tap him with my punch in a few moments here, and he's instantly downed again. So you see any enemy that we come across is just basically one tap. It's really fun. Here's a nice group of enemies. You saw the Nova that spawned. It killed all the enemies except for the guy back here. The Novas that do spawn are of a random element, so there's occasional chance for the Nova to not deal lots and lots of damage because the enemy might resist the Nova that spawned. But generally, the Nova that spawns is so high damaging that you don't really need to worry about that. And sometimes, occasionally, the Novas just don't even spawn because Wild Swing only has a chance to spawn the Novas as opposed to spawning every single time, which is a bit annoying, but it's okay. So I'm just going to one-tap him, not even with both fists. I'm going to one-tap him, not even with both fists. And we're going to just one-tap this guy once again, just to show that you're pretty much able to one-shot any enemy with this build. It's a real fun build to play around with. It's definitely one of my more gimmicky builds, and that's saying something since all my builds are gimmicky. But this is definitely a different mix to Iron Bear that you normally don't see, because Iron Bear Fist is usually considered really bad, but this is one of the only builds that allow you to deal tons of damage with Iron Bear. So make sure to check out the full build showcase on the top right, and make sure to just join the Discord on the top right if you want any of these items. Remember, this is only available for Xbox and PC at the moment. And as always, a big shout out to the members who make these videos possible. We have Jace Noodles, Clairvoyance, 31bar70, and Rick Iglesias. These are the people who support me as little as $5 a month, and you can also support me as little as $5 a month by becoming a member with the link in the comments description or on the top right. The more members we have, the closer I get to becoming full-time, which means more videos for you guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him out with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.